It's June newsletter, so happy Pride Month.
Yeah, and happy Juneteenth.
That's right, yes. Welcome to WeeklyWed Trends. This is a new segment we are starting to bring you the latest trends and a whole bunch of jobs and opportunities. Typically what we share in our newsletter, but you're going to hear a live version. I'm Sudha Jamthe. I'm your instructor and you've seen a lot of my courses here on LinkedIn Learning, and I'm a technology futurist. I'm here with Elem.
Hi everyone. My name is Elem Victor and I'm the creative lead for Business Club AI. It's so wonderful to hear. We are basically going to be talking about the WeeklyWed Trend, which is a new segment in our portfolio. And the idea is that we want to connect with you more. We want you to know that we are not just robots dishing out content, dishing out ideas for you. We are real human beings going through life experiences and trying to make things as much better as you can get. Most of what we'll be discussing today will be on our newsletter, and we have a lot of jobs. Just in case you are not subscribed to the Limitless newsletter, this is the best time to do so. You can see it on the screen. Scan the QR code to be part of the big family.
Let us jump in. We are going to cover trends and we are going to cover the jobs and opportunities. And you can always go to the newsletter and look at everything that we are going to talk about. The actual links, if you want to apply for the fellowships or jobs, will be right there. Let's talk trends. What is the top trend of this month that we've been talking in our team here in our learner community, Elem?
Yeah, so one of the top trends we'll be talking about today is on vibe coding and no-code AI. When we had our last Sudha Live in May, somebody asked a very vital question regarding vibe coding and no-code AI, and I would like it to take a minute to listen to how Sudha answered the question.
What is the difference between AI no-code and AI with code in their approach to solving problems? Initially, the no-code started as a no-code, low-code movement, saying we need to give tools to customers so that they can solve problems themselves, like business people or data owners in large companies. We want to give them tools. But what happened was the no-code tools were built by engineers. And so when engineers are building, when they're doing engineering and software engineering, and they are building a product, when they made no-code, they basically said, hey, we are giving you this tool, but think like us. Think analytically, think programmatically, and then you can use that.
So the rest of the video can be found on Business Club AI on LinkedIn, and you can also follow us. In fact, you should follow us for more updates as we move on. Sudha, what is, in your own opinion, what exactly is vibe coding, and why do you think it has become so popular among AI enthusiasts, among coders, and among everybody per se? And do you think no-code AI has changed for everyone? Does it look like where the future is heading to, or is just a vibe in vibe coding?
Vibe in vibe coding is so beautifully put. So vibe coding started as a trend from generative AI. Vibe coding is simply Gen AI generating code. So Gen AI is able to generate all kinds of things, but vibe coding is the one where it found a customer, which is the developers. So developers say, hey, generate a code for building a website, generate a code for this bug fix, and the AI generates the code. Claude is the most famous one everybody is using for vibe coding, though there are other AI foundation models like Gemini or Copilot, all of that people are using. And I try to stay very agnostic to all kinds of brands. So whatever I'm saying here doesn't mean that I'm endorsing that brand for this topic or any of the jobs we're going to share. So vibe coding is essentially Gen AI taking a prompt and generating code, and developers are the main customers. But it is not just about prompting, getting a piece of code, and then doing the developer's job, because it's a chat interface. And Claude is the most famous one. Gemini and Copilot and many others are out there. And I try to stay very agnostic and don't endorse any particular brand for this or for any of the jobs that I'm going to share. So coming back to vibe coding, why is it a big deal? The vibe coding is set up in such a way that because Gen AI hallucinates, the developers have to look at the code generated and find out whether it is real. Is it doing what they're asking it to do in the prompt, or is it making things up? Is the code correct? So they're kind of, checking that. But the way the interface is set up is what makes it more interesting, that they chat with it. So the developer asks the AI to build something, it generates the code, they look at the code, then they say, hey, build a test case for this and test it, come back and tell me if it matches. They test test it. Almost they behave like a mentor, or they behave like a teacher. And for those of you who have learned Gen AI from me, you know that every chatbot is done with fine tuning. So it's not just the foundation model that's talking to you. The chatbot has been fine tuned for the developers to make them feel good that they're guiding the AI and having it as an interactive conversation. That is vibe coding, and for developers. Now, we just saw the trend that one of you was asking about, coding and no coding. And all my courses are taught using no-code tools, because I want you to understand the concept and then jump in to apply your business acumen, go problem solve, whether you're a designer or marketer or innovator in industry or a data owner or a system analyst or anything. I want you to go do your job. Every AI and every other piece of technology is a powerful tool for you. We want you to be more demanding to make the tool improve to solve your problem. So that's the same thing with vibe coding. So what I'm finding as a trend is, like we were using no-code tools, our learners are beginning to use vibe coding, not just to do what the developers are doing, but to do their job. So a designer can use vibe coding to prove the point of the new design they want and go have a conversation with the developers. And the same thing for product managers and others. I have to dig deeper on how everyone else using vibe coding, and if this is a topic of interest, I'm happy to bring that analysis and teach you how to do that for your job. But right now, I just want to tell you, vibe coding is a trend with developers. Everybody else is saying, hey, it looks like a no-code tool. It is not a no-code tool. It's not going to replace any of the no-code tools that you're using in any of our lessons that we found for you, but it is prompting, chatting. And I would say there's nothing wrong in trying that out, whatever your job role, because that's a new trend. So that will at least make you feel less intimidated, feeling like everybody is doing it and I'm not doing it.
Yeah, thank you, Sudha. That was very, very insightful.
It's June newsletter, so happy Pride Month.
Yeah, and happy Juneteenth.
That's right, yes. Okay, let's proceed to the actual newsletter. Do you want to share the screen so people can see what you're seeing in the newsletter, and then we can talk about that?
Sure. Let me share that. Right. So happy Pride Month once again. This is our newsletter. You should be part of it. The QR code is on the screen. All you have to do is to just scan and you'll be here. Feel free to subscribe. So we have a bunch of jobs for this month, and one of the trends we've noticed is that there are a lot of fellowships. We have University of Chicago, we have Global Majority AI Fellowship. Yes. We also have a H. Humphrey Fellowship for 2027 to 2028 session. And Sudha, what do you think about this new trend in more fellowships than regular jobs out there?
I wish I had an answer. So I think we are seeing the trend of a lot of fellowships. And again, some of them are very specific. I think you missed one, which was the Africa Fellows in Education program. So I believe AI has reached a place where people are looking at how is it impacting different industries. So this Africa Fellowship is focused on education policy. The Applied Data Fellowship in the University of Chicago is looking at public policy related to data science and social impact, right? So I think a lot of fellowships are focused on data and policy. There is a PhD position in University of Alberta on AI policy. It looks like AI is not governed and AI is impacting every industry. That is why I think there are a lot of fellowships which are looking at specific industries and looking at how do we create the right policy and governance. IK has a EMEA open house. Okay, so it's not all only fellowships. And then there's an interesting one, ML for Justice Symposium from Brown University. It's on multiple different industries like healthcare, education, and public policy, but with a justice-oriented lens. So it is for students, policymakers, builders, researchers, whole bunch of things. One unfortunate trend is with the vibe coding, the junior people who are just coming out of college, who are software engineers, are not finding enough jobs. So typically we would have internships, and in summer students will take up internships, and after internships, the companies would, hire them. And that is not happening. A lot of companies have pulled back on their internships. There is a Christian Dior internship, which is in marketing, finance, HR, supply chain, and the like. That's happening in September or October. And there's a whole bunch of them, right? So there's a whole bunch of internship, but they're not in the tech industry. That's the trend that I'm seeing because of the vibe coding, right? That you cannot teach AI to do vibe coding and then check whether it is doing this right if you're somebody who's just coming out of college. So that's the thinking because of which they're hiring, they're retaining jobs even in the layoffs of only the mid-tier professionals mainly, and they are doing vibe coding to kind of guide the AI with this fine-tuned chatting, mentoring approach that they're doing. There's also like a early career research scholars fellowship in data ethics center in Yale University, which also is focused on ethics, legal, and social implications of digital innovation. So that seems the trend. So a lot of fellowships, but a lot of jobs focused on governance or thinking about the impact of AI in various industry, but think about this with a justice lens or a social impact lens. There used to be like a AI for good. Microsoft has a AI for good lab, and they have an open call for African-led projects. And this is one of my area of research on inclusion in language data sets and languages. And so this is particularly exciting for me because, there's a lot of activity coming from Africa because of many thousands of African languages and researchers who know their language and also know the technology, taking charge. So that is here. There is also a collaboration, I believe, with Gates Foundation and Masakane, and you can see the google.org link for that. Then coming back to the internships, so one of the trends that's happening is because recent grads or students are not being hired, they're not getting internship, they cannot just sit idle and not do anything and get a job, because when they get the job market opens up, they will say, show us what you know, what you're doing. And so they can't just keep waiting. So that's the thinking behind this new project called Hack Your Summer from DJ Patil. And he has actually come up with this free program. It was a very grassroots leadership move where he put out a call on LinkedIn and said, hello everyone, we know students are not being hired and they are not getting internship, but they cannot be sitting idle. We need to mentor them and empower them to build something for real. And it is free. Anyone who's signed up to a college, whether they finished it or not, can basically apply. But this idea is not for someone to tell you what to do. It's not a hackathon. It's not a boot camp. It is not like a Y Combinator. You just come in and build something to show what you know to build. So you can create a portfolio, you can put something on GitHub, and you have something to show for the job market and get your own confidence that what you have learned doesn't go to waste. So that's the thinking, and it's great leadership from DJ Patil. So that brings us to the end of our segment. What if we invite our learners? So you're watching this on a recorded session because we did this as a recorded session. So should we invite our learners to join us here on Zoom and talk to us next time we do this? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should leave it open for them. If they would like to join, they should leave it in the comment section for us to know.
Yeah, we do this newsletter on Limitless specifically with jobs and opportunities once a month on the second Monday. So we just showed you about the June newsletter. So for the July one, it'll be wonderful as Elem and I do this the next month, and it'll be a different experience. We're not going to live stream onto LinkedIn, so you don't have to think about making this much more public. But we just was wondering if you want to be here, and you don't even need to be in the camera. You can just be in the audience, add a chat, comment, or question, and we'll guide the discussion towards helping you. And with that, we should wrap up. Elem, do you have any last words of wisdom to say before we close this out?
Yeah, my last words would be, I would love to see you at Sudha Live, because I believe Sudha will be answering a lot of questions regarding the courses, regarding the trends, regarding anything at all in the industry that you would like to ask her. Please come around and have a seat waiting for you.
Thank you so much. So we are going to do this WeeklyWed Trends, where we talk about the jobs and go over the newsletter, and anything that we shared here today is in the Limitless newsletter. Go check it out. And then we're going to do this every month, hopefully, if you like it. And I will still continue to talk to you at Sudha Live because I love talking to you guys. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.